Hello and welcome to Manifesting Marvel, a podcast dedicated to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm your co-host Jacob,
And I'm your co-host Raga.
and today we are discussing What If Episode 7, What If Thor Were an Only Child? And I gotta say, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was going to be like Party Thor, like me and you've been saying, and even though it
Yeah.
kind of was, I liked how he became like Party Thor, and I liked that it was like a different route, and we had like little Easter eggs throughout the episode that I thought were really cool that were like nods to the sacred or main timeline.
Yeah, it was really good. Like, it's quite fun
Hmm.
to see that type of Thor, and we know that Thor is quite happy and free spirit kind of person, or he started to become anyway. And then we can see him in his like full potential of that, which is quite cool. And yeah, all these kind of nods and Easter eggs to not only just the main timeline, but a lot of other things that happen.
Yeah.
That's like quite nice to see that it's actually I mean, I'm quite surprised like they put that as a seventh episode.
Yeah, but I think it makes sense because of the end. I think
Yeah.
obviously we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail towards the end of the episode, but I think one thing that was really, really cool about this was I think now what we're going to start seeing going forward is the ends of episodes are going to kind of lead into this main
Yeah.
storyline, which is what if we'll kind of finish on.
Mm.
But to kind of kick off the episode, we should probably start right at the start. I thought it was cool that we got to see Odin kind of drift off into the Odin sleep,
Yeah.
and we got to see kind of like everybody's reaction because from what I remember, the Odin sleep it was like portrayed quite seriously in the
Yeah.
MCU.
In the movie. Yeah.
And it was funny to see them like all kind of just waiting for him to drop off so they can go and get on with their own plans.
Yeah, it's quite cool. I went Thor's mum, she was like, yeah, I'm going to see my sisters.
Yeah.
See you later.
And I think
And
and I think
yeah.
as well it was really cool that we got to see like this different storyline of
Yeah.
Loki not becoming like an Asgardian and being delivered back to Laufey. And I
Yeah.
thought that was really, really cool. And I also appreciated that like further on in the episode when they met, they like joked about being brothers from different mothers and brothers
Yeah.
forever and stuff. And I thought that was really cool because their relationship was still really cool, even though they were different. And it's just like, oh, if only you guys knew in another universe that you were best friends
Yeah. I
and
mean, it's
brothers.
pretty cool. Like, I mean, that storyline of Thor's being the only son and then Loki's growing up with ice giants and becoming one is quite cool, and
Yeah.
quite cool to see that version of Loki is quite interesting for to me, like to see him as like frost giant rather than normal human version of the Loki.
Mm.
And I mean, one of the bit in the episode, he was holding a phone and he's just holding it like that, and it was just quite cool. I don't know how he managed to hear that,
Yeah.
th- but it was just very interesting to see like
Yeah,
that
no,
character.
I agree with you. But one thing I wanted to ask you is like towards the start of the episode, you've got like
Yeah,
Thor, Sif, and the Warriors 3. They're all walking through Odin's treasure room. We see Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet there, and I wanted to. Did this fly past you? This bit?
yeah,
Yeah, you
like I
look
did not
surprised. Yeah,
see
okay.
it.
So when
I
the
was like, wait, what?
kind of like how in Odin's treasure room they have all the
Yeah.
different things. The Infinity Gauntlet's there, and it has all of the stones.
Mm.
So here's my two questions in regards to that. One, if this is a different timeline, when this is based with this Thor, I assume it's before Avengers because it seems like it's
Mm.
timed around the timing of Thor 1, like the original Thor,
Yeah.
because it has Jane like Foster and everybody at the beginning. So here are like my few bits that I'm interested in regards to this timeline or universe. One, if it is that timeline, then nobody's invented the Infinity Gauntlet yet, unless somebody else had the idea of creating an Infinity Gauntlet, and Odin has now just got it in his vault. Second thing, if they did have the Infinity Gauntlet, why is nobody using it? You wouldn't just keep that in a vault, would you? That sounds a bit crazy.
Yeah.
And Third thing, from what happens at the end of the episode, one could believe that Ultron took it
Yeah,
from Asgard, which I'd like to find out how he got there to take that. And fourth and final thing is who created Ultron if in this universe
yeah.
Age of Ultron hasn't happened?
Well, I'm not really sure who created
No, I want
the.
answers, Raga.
Yeah.
You need to tell me what is going on.
I can't give you that answer of who created the Ultron, but I think the Infinity Gauntlet in Odin's treasure room is actually fake
Okay, do
in
you
the
think?
Marvel universe
Yeah,
anyway. Because I think it's a Ragnarok or something where someone say, "Oh, that is fake anyway." What
yeah, I think it's Hela.
like Ella say something like that, "Oh, it is fake, it's not even real." So it could be the same to that one. It could be the fake one. He had it because you know the Dying Star where they created the forged the
Yeah.
um gauntlet. Like maybe it was initially created for Odin,
Mm.
and then kind of never worked. So Odin had a fake one just made to have in his treasure room, or someone faked it.
Or maybe Odin knew that it was too powerful, so he
Yeah,
he didn't he didn't want to like lose his arm by
yeah,
snapping it.
yeah. Or maybe Odin collected it from different universe or different
Mm.
realms, and then he had it. Because remember, there's so many stones and so many potentials there.
Yeah.
So it could be that one. But who created Altron is a very interesting question. It could have happened by then. Tony Stark would have created it, Ultron, but Thor was just because he's only son in that universe, did not even care about. He didn't have a purpose to actually go to Earth.
I know this would be wildly out there, and it's probably not
Yeah,
going to be the case. But wouldn't it be fun if this is Vision from One Division, and he's going through the
yeah,
multiverse in an Ultron body with the Infinity Stones, trying to find Wonder? I know that wouldn't be the case, but I was just trying to think of like
yeah,
fun ways they could tie it in, because it is cool that it's Vision, and it is cool that he's got all the Infinity Stones. And like, I don't know about you, but it looked like a comic book accurate
yeah,
Ultron. Like, I know obviously because it's cartoon it's going to, but like that's the Ultron that I wanted in Age of Ultron,
yeah,
and he looks terrifying, and I think he's going to absolutely kick ass. The one thing I will say though is we've also seen in the mid credits like sneak peek that this Thor does survive and ends up with the Doctor Strange, that the evil Doctor Strange. So
yeah,
he's obviously not going to die from this Vision. But I think what's going to happen is we're going to get little clips of this ending bit, and they're all going to
yeah,
gradually be brought together to fight Ultron. They're going to be like the Guardians of the Multiverse fighting Ultron, because he's going to try and use it for some crazy thing.
yeah. It could be an Ultron from different universe just arriving to take over that universe, and Thor is just fighting it off and go and gather the rest of the universe to
Mm.
come and help, kind of thing. Because it could not be actually from that Thor universe, but it could be from somewhere else. Because I mentioned to you earlier about the surprise look from the Watcher when Ultron arrived.
Yeah.
That explained that even Watcher didn't expect that to take place.
Yeah.
So it could be that that universe is happening around the same time when the when WandaVision and everything happening.
Yeah.
But they would be like, "Oh, wait a minute, this is not supposed to happen. What's going on?" kind of thing. And Ultron arrives from different
You
universe.
should check if the timestamps line up again with all the other ones on that Ultron episode, because I know the what if ones are quite
Oh,
short, and they're around like 20 minutes, aren't they? And if that
yeah,
Ultron scene,
27 minutes or something.
if the Watcher goes, oh wait, when that exact moment lines up, then we
It
know.
could be,
You might have just broke the code.
yeah, it could be, but I can't really check it out. But
Yeah, it's
I
in.
would definitely do it just after,
Yeah,
but
we'll
just
let
to have a
everybody
look.
we'll let
But
everybody know on the socials if that ends up being the case. But one thing I've got to say that I loved about this episode, I like that they took the mick out of Earth. They called it the most backwater planet in the
yeah,
Nine Realms, which I thought was funny. And I liked that Topaz and the Grandmaster were
Grandmaster,
just there
yeah,
chilling on their little electric scooters, and I like that they took them. I like that he thought that that was a cool little invention.
Yeah. I mean, quite nice to see. Like, I mean, did you see? There's so many characters in there.
Yeah, there was loads. There was loads.
Yeah,
It was like a Thor slash Guardians of the Galaxy like
yeah,
reunion.
yeah, definitely. And obviously, I haven't seen the Star Lord. I mean, Peter Quill version of the Star Lord yet,
Mm.
playing the character. And we haven't seen Gamora in that one either. Or I'm not sure we've seen Groot and Raccoon.
We've seen Rocket because
Rocket
he
Raccoon.
was he was in the
Yeah,
sink in this, wasn't he? After the night.
yeah. So they put so many characters in there, but the a few things I noticed. Most
What?
of the characters actually having a really good life.
Yeah,
Like the one that miserable, like for example, what's his name? I can't remember. Um, the one that in Guardian of the Galaxy, Drax.
yeah,
Drax is like perfectly. His family is fine. He's happy and he's drinking and enjoying his life. That's like twice we've seen him doing that.
yeah,
And where it's like when you look at it, Tony Stark in these episodes like keep dying.
yeah. You
So
know
it
what?
just goes to show that their characters play different variation.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Thanos wasn't in this episode partying on
Yeah.
Earth, because that would have been so funny, because he came here and wrecked Earth. And it would have just been so funny to see him on Earth, but as like a friendly alien.
Mhm.
That would have been
We get mention of him from his daughter. What's his
yeah,
name?
Glamour. And she's like, oh, I think my dad's
Yeah,
calling.
yeah. And she just leaves.
I love Karen
Uh,
Gillan's like
yeah,
portrayal of Nebula, and I think she's really good at doing the voice acting for her too. It's very cool. But yeah, you get to see Korg, you get to see everyone. It's really,
yeah,
really cool. It's very cool. And then obviously Darcy's back, and I like Darcy. Her energy's great. I forgot that we haven't seen her for a while, because I loved her and the detective in One Division. They were really, really funny together. And
yeah,
I liked that Natalie Portman was voicing Jane Foster again too. And it was cool to have Maria Hill as
yeah,
like the leading person for Shield. And it was when she first said, "Do you know why I'm acting?" I was like, "No, Nick
yeah.
Fury's dead." And then we just find out that
No,
he got like knocked out the way.
knocked out by Cork.
But it did make me laugh when Coulson was being serious, and she was and he was like, "Ma'am, the party atmosphere seems to be spreading across the globe." It's like it's so funny. It sounds like you're treating it like a virus. He's like, "Everybody seems to
Yeah,
be partying, ma'am." But
yeah. I mean, it's a quite worrying in their aspect of it because people are gonna be reckless and then start breaking,
mm,
and apparently that's what happened to the dying star of.
yeah,
I'm not sure which one is in Jane Foster mentioned, but like they're quite worried about it, and it's all because Foster mentioning that it's quite bad. Otherwise, they would have been taking it very easily,
yeah.
dealing with it.
Yeah, and I gotta say, this next bit was sweet. I loved the Captain Marvel versus Thor fight. I was getting
Yeah,
like, I was getting Dragon Ball Z vibes. I was getting like, do you remember Avengers 1 when Iron Man and Thor and Cap are having that fight?
yeah,
And Thor like sends the lightning at Iron Man, and then Jarvis is like, "Sir, energy levels are at 400%." And Iron Man's like, "How about that?" And then just like fires all that energy at Thor. It was sick to see them fight. And it was awesome right at the end, when he was like blasting her with the hammer, and she was just
yeah,
standing there charging up like she was going Super Saiyan. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, I didn't enjoy the Captain Marvel film
yeah,
very much, not because of Brie Larson or anything, because I know a lot of people aren't a fan. I think she's awesome, but I just I didn't vibe with the film, and I didn't feel that she was in Endgame enough for me to like really see
yeah,
it. I feel like we just haven't had enough Captain Marvel in current time. I think that's why I didn't like the Captain Marvel films, because it was set in the 90s, and I wanted something a little bit more current. And I know that we're getting that with the Marvels coming up with Miss Marvel and the
yeah,
Marvels and Captain Marvel too, or is it called the Marvels? I don't even know. And we got a little glimpse of Veronica in One Division and stuff. So I know it's coming,
yeah,
but it was just really cool to see Captain Marvel again, and she just kicked ass. And it was just awesome to like what I really enjoyed how they pervade them punching them from continent to continent, and
Yeah,
how like because it was a cartoon when they went up into the atmosphere, you could see it as a map. It would say like
yeah,
France
which
or the
France
United
and then
Kingdom.
America. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, quite like the intro they gave for her. Very similar to the one when she's entering in the end game,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and everyone just looking up the sky and what's going on, and she just arrived.
Yeah, and Thor's like, "Did
Um,
you go boom? I didn't go boom." He's like, "No, you usually
yeah,
go boom." He's like, "No, I only go boom in private."
yeah. So it is quite interesting to see that kind of interaction for her. But one point when they were fighting, and like Thor leaves a hammer on her chest and
Yeah,
pin her down. For some weird reason, I wanted Captain America to pick that up and
I
then
just,
join Captain Marvel to kind of stop Thor.
yeah,
So I was like edge of my seat, and I'm like, ah, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Or like, then it was just he never appeared on it, which is quite sad because I would like to see they're both kind of working together because they never actually did.
yeah,
Even in the end game, they never had a fight scene together. So it's like Captain Marvel and Captain America doing that together. I think it would be really cool. And also, Thor will be shocked if Captain America picks up his hammer and he'd be like, "How did you manage to get that working?"
yeah.
So
No, yeah, I
it's
agree with you. That would have been
quite
cool.
cool. That would be very cool. But maybe next episodes they could do that.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I like it. So they kind of have that fight, don't they? And they're just
Yeah,
like smashing all over the world and flying up into the upper atmosphere and everything. And then obviously Jane has this idea of using frequencies to call out Hamdall, and then
yeah,
Hamdall gets in touch with Thor's mum, and Thor's mum uses some dark magic and kind of shows up and is like, "Thor, what are you doing?" And Thor's like all panicking because he's like young Thor and
yeah,
he's scared, and then his mum's coming. And I thought that was a really funny scene then because you got Thor. It was kind of like a house party, like in Project X or something. Like you had Thor panicking that he needed
yeah,
to clean because his parents were coming, and because he had powers, he could kind of like do it really quickly. And I thought it was cool how they had that similar scene to like one of the old Superman films where he like made the Leaning Tower of Pisa straight again. And
yeah.
like he goes and picks up Stonehenge after calling it some silly rocks and stuff like that. And I just thought it was really, really funny how he like tidied it all up.
Mm.
And then obviously there's like the suspense of them going back and forth as he's cleaning and as she's flying towards Earth. And then she kind of gets there, doesn't she? And he's all like sitting there and he's like, "Oh, we're just having lessons because learning
Listen,
is
yeah.
magic, or magic is learning, or whatever they say." And then,
And then Captain Marvel arrives
yeah,
just to give him some more information about cultural exchange and just trying to help Thor out.
yeah, and some
But Thor,
podcasts and documentaries. I wonder
yeah,
if she chucked Manifesting Marvel on there.
yeah, she might have done that.
Yeah,
Like
so
Thor will be listening to you right now. He's waiting for the next one. We're on Google Podcast at the moment, so
yeah.
definitely using
I
that
was gonna
one.
just say quickly, for anybody that does watch on YouTube and you do love the show and everything that we do, we don't have a Patreon or anything yet. So if you do want to support us, please head over to Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or Spotify as well and give us a little follow because it just helps with us getting recommendations on everything in the future. But yeah, kind of back to the video. I thought it was just a really good episode, and I would have
Yeah,
said until the ending that it was probably the most positive what if episode.
yeah,
And then you get this crazy reaction from the Watcher, and
yeah,
Ultron shows up. And I gotta say, he looked awesome. He was kind of a mix between comic book Ultron and Ultron from Age of Ultron. But then he's just
yeah.
got Vision's face and the Infinity Stones on his chest, and it's just insane.
Yeah, the way the stones were in on his body, and then when he opened his helmet, you could see his mind stone on his forehead. It's quite scary.
Yeah, because
Like,
like the only way you could stop him was like burning him from the internet and then not letting any of the bodies escape, which is
yeah,
quite easy to do when he's stuck on a planet. But when you got the space stone, man, and the time stone, you just go anywhere and reality and everything. Like you're never going to be able to track down and
yeah.
destroy Final Ultron if he's got the Infinity Stones. So that reality is totally screwed.
And also, even if he snaps or do something with it, he will never get damaged. He could just fix himself, so
Yeah, he's got
he's more
thousands of
powerful.
bodies, so he can just
Yeah,
keep giving bodies to do crazy snaps. Yeah, it's nuts.
it's crazy.
I'm
It,
excited. I'm excited to see where they go with that. But saying that, we've got OP other heroes now, though, don't we? So like we've
yeah,
got like a Supreme Doctor Strange, we've got like a T'Challa, Wakandan, Star Lord, and stuff. So we'll be fine. They're
well,
gonna
we could be.
they're gonna fight him and they're gonna
A
save.
big, a really good Thanos. So maybe in this one, Thanos will get the stones and then snap or something to get
Mm.
him out of it, and then that's why the Thanos will like the good snap of the Thanos.
Or Zombie Wonder's gonna show up and
Yeah.
have a
So
showdown with Vision Ultron.
I like to see like I think next episode it's we haven't seen much of I don't know what the next episode is going to be
I have a
because this
feeling it's gonna be the Glamora one.
yeah I think it's going to be Gamora one, but I don't think it is actually her story. I think it's going to be multiverse kind of coming together.
Dude, do you know what would be
Yeah,
sick? Do you know what would be sick? Actually, I don't know if it is Glamora because from what we've seen, there is like an Ultron episode, isn't there, with Black Widow?
yeah,
And then there's also a Glamora one. But do you know what would be sick? If we got the Ultron one next, so it kind of leads on from last week. And it could just be all of the Earth's heroes getting their ass kicked by Ultron. You could have Glamora show up at the end, like Thanos coming to get the Infinity Stones, but
yeah.
Ultron's got them. And then she could show up at
Oh,
the end, and then her
yeah,
episode, she could be fighting Ultron, but she could lose. And then she joins like this Guardians of the Multiverse team with Doctor Strange, Thor, Spider Man, Ant Man with the no head body thing, and
yeah.
all of that.
And
And they,
zombies.
yeah, and they could all team up to fight Ultron with the Infinity Stones. That is what I think is going to happen.
I think they're gonna give next two episodes a kind of a what's it called? More of a Infinity War Endgame
Yeah.
kind of
It could even be a
touch to
two-parter.
it.
Yeah, it could even be
Yeah,
like a two-parter.
yeah. First one they getting kicked their ass off because I feel like there's a point where a superior Doctor Strange or Supreme Doctor Strange and Thor, they're standing and they're saying, "Oh, they're talking about zombies and stuff."
I
So
think
they
they're going to
might,
go through all the different universes and pick up
yeah,
heroes.
pick up heroes or they're picking up something
Yeah,
else.
because I think Doctor Strange will find a way to escape his little like
Yeah,
bit of reality that he's got left, and then he's going to go through all the other ones that are doomed and pluck heroes from them to kind of like fight something.
yeah.
Or he
It would
might
be
even
very
he might even be plucking them all to fight the Watcher, but they end up fighting
yeah,
Ultron or something. Or,
yeah,
mate, and as well, I'm just saying it now. I'm calling it
okay,
now, right? These are two things
yeah,
that I'm calling right now for any listeners watching because I want them time stamped and dated. So this will be out on the 24th of September. So here's my two predictions, right?
okay. Go on.
Ultron
Yeah.
or someone is going to kill the Watcher.
Ooh,
Second prediction,
yeah,
Dark Supreme Strange is going to
yeah,
take on the mantle of the Watcher at the end. The last episode, you're going to see the outline of Strange in the universe instead of the Watcher because he noticed the Watcher when he started getting all those powers, towards the end when he was
yeah,
doing all of his sacrificing. And how sick would it be if you got like a Benedict Cumberbatch Watcher final quote because he became the person who could see all? Because that's all he wanted.
yeah,
Like his reality's doomed. Maybe the whole multiverse becomes doomed. Ultron kills the Watcher and he has to take the place. Like he doesn't even want to, but he just becomes it. That is my prediction for What If. I have
mm,
a feeling. I just have a feeling.
all right, let's wait and see next two episodes. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be 9 episodes at the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
We thought it's going to be 10, but
Who
they
knows?
kind of yeah, who knows? They probably release more. But yeah, that is I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen. On the other news, I just would like to update that they're going to start filming WandaVision
Mm,
2.
cool.
So something for us to kind of carry on with
Yeah,
the podcast
that'll be
and
fun.
covering on. So do you think that we will start seeing the cartoon characters in them? as like the real life actors playing
Yeah,
them.
I want to. I want to. I
Yeah,
want to. I'm not sure, but we know that it like is official canon, so yeah, maybe, but who
yeah,
knows? I feel like the way that they're going to play it is that there's just a timeline that is in cartoon form. Or another really cool one, really cool idea that I heard was that because there are so many realities, the watcher actually sees all of these universes in cartoons because they're easier for him to understand and digest,
yeah,
and we're seeing it through his eyes, and that's why we're seeing it in cartoon, but they're actually real, which I thought
yeah.
was a really cool idea. But
Yeah, I think I will buy into that one because I like to see different characters playing actually real life. But
and
it
obviously
will be really
Stan
fun.
Lee was one of the watchers, and he made
Yeah,
some of the cartoons, and I know Jack Kirby and all them designed it, so it's kind of, it'd be a cool little nod. But another little thing as well, keep an eye out for the YouTube channel. We've got some new special content coming. We're going to be doing a Who is Who series,
yeah,
and we're starting with Who is Athena, or Athena, depending on how you want
Tina.
to
Yeah,
pronounce her. But we're going to be basically breaking down all of the Eternals prior to the film releasing. So you can go in there knowing exactly who everybody is, what they do, what their history is, powers, villains, all that fun stuff. So keep an eye out for that over on the YouTube channel. And if you've not subscribed to that yet, go and subscribe to it, because,
yeah,
who doesn't want extra video content? And you can help us on our journey to 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, that pretty
yeah,
much wraps up this week's episode. We haven't really got any other extra news because there's not been any new fancy trailers or anything like last week with Hawkeye or the week
yeah,
before with Spider-Man. So if you are listening on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the episode, and let us know down in the comments section below what your favorite part of episode 7, what if Thor were an only child. If we've missed anything, also let us know. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, be sure to hit that follow/subscribe button. And if you're listening on Google Podcasts, welcome. We've literally launched it this week, so this will be the
yeah,
first new episode on there. I think our entire catalog is there too. It's been a long time coming, but we are here now. And if you do prefer using Google Podcasts over any of the others, and you've been sacrificing how you watch or listen to us, now you can go and listen to it on your favorite platform. So head over there and subscribe. And yeah, guys, we will catch you next week for episode 8 of What If.